It was that time of year. It was the time where everyone pretended to be someone or something else. It was the time where people would go around their neighborhood taking candy from strangers. I wouldn't normally go out to trick or treat on Halloween night, but I felt like participating in the celebration this year. Going trick or treating this year would be different because we were in the latter stage of the pandemic. Since it was okay for everyone in our city to participate in the celebration if we wore masks or were vaccinated, I figured there wouldn't be any harm in participating. I couldn't have been more wrong. I went out with my girlfriend and her family. Everything was okay for the first 30-45 minutes. We didn't mention how long we would go door to door, but it was getting cold and dark, so I figured we wouldn't be out much longer. In fact, my girlfriend's family decided to split up and head back home before we did. My girlfriend and I went a little further than we planned. I noticed that a small family entered a house. That, we decided, would be the final house we would visit for tonight. I knocked at the door a few times and nobody answered. I knocked a few more times and still nobody answered. It was kind of weird because I saw people enter the house not too long ago, and I didn't see anyone come back out. I knocked the door one final time and still didn't get a response. I figured they didn't want to be bothered, so my girlfriend and I decided to walk home. Right before we left their property, someone finally answered the door. It was a woman, but not the one I saw enter the house a moment ago. She looked at my girlfriend and I and apologized for the delay. I told her it was all right and mentioned that we were about to go home. I just assumed she was the homeowner. She asked us, "Would you like some candy?" "Sure," I replied. She asked us if we wanted to come inside for the candy while turning around simultaneously to get it. As we approached the front door again, it appeared as if someone was watching us from inside. I couldn't tell whether I saw a male or female because of the dark background. After focusing a bit more, it definitely seemed like we were being watched. The person had a real creepy stare that made me feel uncomfortable. After looking at my girlfriend, I could tell she felt the same way. I told the lady it wasn't necessary for us to come inside, and then she gave us the candy. To be honest, I didn't care about the candy at this point. I just didn't want to be rude to the old lady. However, I was really eager to leave as soon as possible. We thanked her and walked away without further hesitation. As we walked away, she began to stare at us with a cold, straight face. Following that, a man pushed past the old lady at the front door, holding a machete in his hand. Me and my girlfriend ran for our lives and didn't look back until we got to her house. As I watched the news the following day, I learned that an entire family was murdered nearby. I was in disbelief. It happened at the final house that we visited yesterday. I couldn't stop thinking that yesterday could have been the first and last time that I went trick-or-treating.